Now we're going to learn how to graph an equation on the TI-84 calculator. Some of the steps are the same as making a table, at least getting started. Now to understand the process, let's look at what the process would be if we were to graph the equation by hand. The first thing that we would do is we would make a table, and you can do that by hand or you can now do that with the calculator. The second thing that you would do is make a coordinate plane or an XY axis and then decide how to mark the X and Y axes. Now in this case, X starts at -3 and goes to 3, so you at least have to see -3 to 3. We might make this a little bigger when we draw it by hand. We might make it go from -10 to 10, just in case. And then we note that y goes from -7 to 11. So here's -7 to 11. And what we might do if we were making our own graph is we might make this go from, let's say, -10 up to maybe 10 or 11. So we would figure out the extent of our axes. Then we would plot each of these points and then draw a line. Now we're going to see how to do those things on the calculator. So here's our calculator. First thing you want to do is enter your equation, 3x plus 2, enter. And now before, when we set up the tables, we had to say where the table started. Now we have to tell the calculator where our axes start and end. So we do that using xmin and xmax and ymin and ymax. Xmin is the minimum or lowest x value that you have on the x-axis. Xmax is the largest. Ymin is the lowest that you have on the y-axis, and ymax is the highest that you have on the y-axis. So here's how you do those things on the calculator. You press Window, and you get this. Now it's set up to be xmin -10, xmax 10, and then ymin -10, ymax 10. We're going to change that just to see what happens. So we're going to make our xmin -3, because that's the smallest x that we're interested in, and we're going to make our xmax 3. We're going to let xscl, xscale, be 1, and we'll come back to that in a later lesson. The ymin in this is going to be -7, so we'll make it -7, and then the ymax will be 11. So we've done all of those things. Now the next thing to do is just graph the line. We'll press Graph, and there it is. And you'll see that the x-axis has tick marks for -3, -2, -1, and 0, then 1, 2, and 3. And the y-axis similarly has marks for -7, -6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and up to 11. Here's a summary of what we did to graph equations. First thing you do is enter your equation. You press y equals and then type in the equation. Next, make sure that your window is okay. You press Window and then make sure that xmin and xmax, ymin and ymax are set so that you'll be able to see the graph. We've been setting them to be -10 and 10 and -10 and 10. X scale and Y scale should be 1, and as I said, we'll learn about those in another lesson. And then press Graph to view your graph.